So today's super high exemption and tax environment where individual in the United States can pass $15 million as a gift or through an estate, through an inheritance tax free, or $30 million with the spouse, it's kind of misleading because people think, oh, it's such a high exemption, I don't really need to do any complex estate planning or tax planning. But that's a huge trap. One of the reasons being is that you always have to look at your jurisdiction because that's the federal tax exemption. In New York, we have a death tax that hits at about 7.35 million. The other reason why this is very kind of like entrapment, right, is because even though this 15/30 million per couple exemption is supposedly permanent, it's subject to further action by Congress always. So tax laws, whether it's on the state level or the federal level, they change, right? And we have to be proactive about them. Another reason it's kind of trapping is we can't necessarily look at what we have in our current estates versus the estate tax exemption. We have to look at the potential growth. And that's the whole point of tax planning through using trust vehicles is we want to lock out that growth to maximize our investments in a way that would mitigate any estate tax consequences. Once you make an irrevocable transfer to a trust, you're going to lock out all of that future potential growth out of your taxable estate. So you may be, 40 years old now with, let's say, a $10 million estate, but if you're not making use of this high exemption environment that we have now to lock out all that eventual growth, you may be missing out on a huge opportunity.